Hey, it's Lacey and welcome back to Satoshi Gaming. Today I want to take you on a tour of my Pink Core Valentine's Day island in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I flattened my island on New Year's Day, removing my Christmas theme island, which if you missed that island tour, I'll post a link in the description down below so you can check it out. I had in mind a candy heart style themed Valentine's Day island focused around pinks and reds for the holiday, and I really wanted pink to be the primary color with red as the accents. I originally started the design when it was still snowy and it just wasn't quite working for me, and so I moved it into spring, into cherry blossom season, and I think it just kind of put it up a notch. So we are in spring now. If you want to visit this island yourself, here is the dream address. You can come check it out. I kept a kind of diagonal line down the middle and stuck the housing and residential areas all in the top left quadrants, and then the businesses and commercial use space down in the bottom right quadrant. And these are all the villagers I have on my island. I tried to choose villagers whose houses would match the theme I was going for, and I had a few villagers that were left over from my original island that I just couldn't seem to part with. So from the airport, I have this entrance that takes you into a waterfall, and one of the things that I had in mind with this design was that the entrance would force you into Resident Services Plaza, so you couldn't go anywhere else. It's just a nice little serene space to bring you into the island. I have resident services actually in kind of an island formation. It's not completely surrounded by water, but it is on three sides. So there are three bridges leading out of resident services, and then a staircase in the opposite corner going up to the residential areas. So either of these bridges will take you over to other things, this one being the beach and the museum. And then if you come up here, you can actually get a really nice aerial view from a little campsite I made of the plaza. And I really liked this idea that you have kind of like a little focal viewpoint to check out resident services and see what's going on. If we head down off the campsite area and towards the beach, I won't be touring much of the beach with this island. I did not do a lot of decorating on the beach. I kind of stuck to the mainland, but I did do this area and I like it. It's simple, but it really gives you a festive vibe with all the balloons up top, and so kind of is a little party on the beach. If we head back towards the bridge that goes to the plaza, if we take a right here, this will take you directly to my museum. And normally I'm not a big fan of the museum. The building doesn't really match a lot of the designs I do, but this one, because it has red on it, it went pretty well, and I tried to kind of tuck it into the landscape by building a bunch of cliff sides with waterfalls around it and putting some flags up top. And it leads down into this little forest I made. It's a gyroid forest walk, which seemed kind of appropriate for a space next to a museum. The gyroids kind of have a little bit of a museum vibe, like something you'd want to go look at on display, so you can see all your gyroids. And I put out every single one I had. I tried not to use any duplicates, so I got all the ones I had and made them pink or purple if they had the color available, and put them on little candies. And so it's kind of a gyroid candy forest, and I think it's a fun little way to display your gyroids next to the museum. Leaving the forest, I have my dock out here, which I made a chocolate dock. I didn't really do much out there, but if we come back to the plaza and head up this other bridge, this one will take us towards our shops. And I just kind of wanted a nice little vibe with lots of waterfalls when you walk into this area. A lot of people, when they come to your island, go straight for Nook's Cranny, and so I kind of wanted to make a nice walk into that space. And I surrounded it with waterfalls and flowers and just kind of tried to give it a really nice cozy little vibe right on the water. Moving away from Nook's Cranny, I like to have a crafting area available near Nook's because I often come in and out doing a lot of crafting. So this is my main crafting space. It's very central on the island and it has everything I would need for cooking, crafting, and getting a wardrobe change. Just above it, I have the Able Sisters. I wanted to tuck their shop in and give it kind of a cozy little cottage vibe next to some water. So it's got a nice little seating area, some clothes out for like a sidewalk sale, and balloons, you know, indicating come shop with us. I still had more bridges available. I hadn't maxed out my bridges yet, but I kind of wanted to make my own, and so I tried my hand at that to give a Valentine's theme bridge design idea. And I like to do a lot of angled bridges, so I had to keep this one straight because I couldn't really make it work at an angle in the way I wanted. But I think it turned out really nice and really fit the theme. It leads over to a little hidden cafe here nestled in the cliffside where you can take in a little cup of coffee and read a book or a magazine and just enjoy the view. At nighttime, this place is lit up really well. I wish I had a nighttime shot to show you because it's really pretty at night, especially with the festival lamps. Heading back across the bridge past the Able Sisters, we go through this little archway and into the shopping district. So the first thing you'll find here is Meringue Bakery, and it's this cutesy little bakery shop. It is staved even in a way, and you can pop over and get some candy or some cotton candy or a piece of cake and sit and enjoy your sweet treats on Valentine's Day. Across from Meringue Bakery, I have my Gifts for Your Valentine's outdoor market where you can shop all the goodies to give to your favorite person and give them what they want to be your Valentine. Outside of those arches, we come down to the beach and I have this little outdoor restaurant, romantic table for two by the sea, perfect for that late night date. I really kind of wanted to give this just a cozy little romantic vibe, so it's very nice and quaint, and it fills in that space pretty well. If we head back through the market, I couldn't make this island without a heart-shaped pond, and I know everybody does one here now or whenever, but it just kind of felt like you had to have one at least somewhere, and mine just happens to be here outside the outdoor market. And I still have a Christmas tree on it because I just couldn't bear to part with this pink Christmas tree. I really like it. I know it's not Christmas anymore, but it's a Valentine's tree now, donating the Valentine's pond. If we come through this little boardwalk on the back end, it'll take you to the art dealer when he's here, and so it just pops you out right to my beach on the north shore. And then if we head up here, this is the start of my residential area. With my residential area, I really wanted it to be kind of cozy and quaint, and I tried to give my residents a little bit of space, but I didn't want them to have massive sprawling yards. So they each have their own individual spaces, but they're not necessarily designed for them. They're just kind of tucked in as like a cozy neighborhood that you might see somewhere. So they look a little different. Each one has their own little designs, but I stuck with the pink core Valentine's vibe. This one I decided to connect with these little hop spots. I really like these on islands. I think they're pretty cute, and it has this little water feature to enjoy when you go by. Friga's house sits just above the outdoor cafe, and she has probably one of the smaller yards. She's got her own little bridge over this flower trestle leading up to the next part of the neighborhood, and Gonzo's got a pretty small yard too. I actually didn't put a fence on the whole thing because his space is so tiny, but it's okay, he doesn't need a lot. Coach's place has a outdoor kitchen because he just seems like the type that would want to be outside grilling burgers. And across the way there's this nice little gazebo that you can hang out and take in some of the sunshine. I like to usually keep my house separate from the villagers, but this one I actually put my house in their neighborhood, so I decided to separate it by a bridge with some water, and I'm kind of up on the top of the cliff, and I have this nice little space outside where I can do some painting and relax and sit by the water and just enjoy the space on the hillside. It also has a really nice view of the outdoor cafe up here on the cliff, and so at nighttime it's pretty cool to see people walking around down there. And then I also have another little seating area off to the other side that's surrounded by water. So I got lots of little waterfalls going off of this area, and it just has a really nice, quaint vibe. So if we head here, I got a warp pipe that will take me back to Nook's Cranny because I'm constantly coming and going to and from there, and my house is kind of hard to get to otherwise, so it felt like the warp pipe was a perfect opportunity to make traveling easier. If we head back through the main plaza and we go up the other ramp here, this will take us through to the neighborhoods as well. Hey, Puck. Uh-oh. No, no, no. No. Puck's one of my favorites. He has a really cute pink house, and I actually put his house first on the island entrance because I like him so much in his house. So you are staying forever, sir. But this is Puck's house. He has a little flower shop out front just in time for Valentine's Day, and he has a little seating area down below his house if he wants to, and a hammock to recline and relax after a big workout. So that's Puck's little place. Over here I got a little outdoor yard that's enclosed on the way to Winnie's house. And she's kind of tucked in. If you watched my Christmas Island tour, I actually did not move her house. It's the only house that did not move in my last island, but I terraformed everything around it, so it's a lot different. She's got this little outdoor private seating space all to herself. If we come down from Winnie and Puck's house, this is that lower patio area we saw earlier from Puck's, and then you can come over here to this other little seating area by the fountain and just hang out and relax. It's kind of tucked in. Has a cozy little vibe, I think. Oop, I'm stuck. Across the way is Pico's house, and she's my newest resident, and I kind of tried to decorate her house with her style in mind. Coming across this bridge, this was actually one of the first areas I designed on the island, terraforming this first. I wanted it to be a big grand area with cliffs on either side and a big walkway going through the middle, and I'm pretty happy with how the space turned out. It has a real nice spring Valentine's vibe with lots of flowers and different sized trees growing at different phases of development, and it's a nice spot to just sit and hang out by the river. Definitely want to get presents. It's Valentine's Day after all. So if we walk through the pathway towards the back, there's a waterfall at the end and a little cliffside overlooking the beach, which I didn't decorate, so don't mind all those blue flowers. And up top is a little picnic that I've set up here with my pal the bunny. So we're just hanging out. I'm gonna have some picnic lunch, and you could also come at night and watch the stars. This area is my sunken focal point with a water feature and a pink Christmas tree in the back. Again, I couldn't part with it. I know it's not Christmas, but I had to put that Christmas tree somewhere, and it just seemed like a nice spot for it. If we come back through the middle pathway, there's one more house tucked in on this side, and it's Curly's place, and I kind of tried to give him a little bit of a foresty vibe, more of a secluded space than some of the other houses, so it's kind of tucked in on its own little space here. If we head over this bridge, this brings you back to the main neighborhood area when we first came up from Resident Services. And this is Tutu's place, which is right below mine, where all the waterfalls come down. And she's got a really cute little house. I think it's probably one of my favorites. Felt like it needed lots of florals and a dollhouse and some girly items out front. So she's surrounded by water, and it feels like a real tranquil space. This is my little cherry blossom forest. It is just a nice little walk path to get from one house to the other. Heading back up from Nook's Cranny, I have this walk path that will take you a shortcut over to the museum should you need to go back and forth from the museum to Nook's, which often happens. And if we go this way, there's this little water well overlooking Nook's, and then a little picnic space above my crafting area. Yeah, this area is my enclosed campground space, and I wanted to give it a bear vibe. So, you never want a bear when you're out camping, but I thought it'd be kind of a fun play on it to have bears all over the campsite. So there's bears umbrellas and bear plushies everywhere, and they have invaded the campsite, so you have some friends if you go camping. If we head past the campground and up to the top of the cliffs here, I have some flowers that I was growing for wagons, and then I have some pumpkins growing in the back to make some money. And I really like the space. It's above the gyroid forest, so here's another angle of that, and it gives you a spot to kind of take in all the sights and get some extra money while you're taking it all in. In the middle here, I'm growing pink roses, and then I have some tomatoes on the other side just to, again, make some more money, and it kind of felt like it just went with the whole Valentine's vibe. So that was my Pink Core Valentine's Island in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I hope you enjoyed the tour, and if you did, please give it a like and share with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like these. I have lots of Animal Crossing speed builds and island tours, and I hope you check them out. You can also find me on Twitter and TikTok at Satoshi Gaming TV, and you can join my Discord using the link below. And if you'd like to support the channel above and beyond and get exclusive access to content not shown anywhere else, check out my Patreon. Thanks for watching. Bye!